Right now on 10 News at 11.
A cross-county search for a killer who shot 3 employees at a Church's Chicken. 1 has already died.
It went 2, just pow, pow, and then stopped, and then it went again. And that's when I realized there was just something wrong.
People nearby rushing to help the bleeding victims.
I took my belt off, wrapped it around his arm. He had another hole in him. I tried to plug that until police got here.
Tonight, the fight over money that may have triggered the shooting.
10 News begins with breaking news.
Just 30 minutes ago, police gave us this picture of the killer's car, the best clue to finding him right now.
He walked into a Church's Kitchen full of hardworking people and shot 3 employees in front of customers. This happened at the location at Del Sol Boulevard in Otay Mesa. We have team coverage from the scene and the hospital. We begin with 10 News anchor Lindsay Pena. Lindsay, you spoke to a witness who helped save one of the victims.
Yeah, that man not calling himself a hero tonight, but many people considering him such. He stepped into action very quickly. That search for the suspect, as you said, still very much on tonight, and investigators still working out here at that Church's Chicken. Now, what we do know is that at least one witness told us that this may have all started over a fight over a $20 counterfeit bill. We do know that that suspect got in a fight with employees and came back shooting.
It sounded like firecrackers, and that's what I thought it was at first, the first 2, and then it kept going.
David Walker was in the parking lot waiting for his shift to start at the 7-Eleven next to Church's Chicken when he says he saw an employee come running out the back door bleeding.
I took my belt off, wrapped it around his arm. He had another hole in him. I tried to plug that until police got here.
The man Walker helped was one of 3 Church's employees shot Wednesday afternoon after police say a customer opened fire. Another man was hit, and a woman who sadly later died from her injuries. At this point, it's not clear exactly how many shots were fired or what type of weapon was used. Another witness, who was too frightened to show his face, says he talked to one of the victims right after.
He told me directly, the employee, that was over a fake $20 bill.
Now, we want to give you a description of that suspect that police are looking for. He is described as a black male in his 30s, about 6'1", with a thin build. He was wearing a light blue sweatshirt and a blue Chargers beanie. And you're also taking a look, as we showed you earlier, of the car he was seen getting away in, a dark blue sedan. Police are asking if you know this person, if you have any details on this crime, to please call them or call 911 if you see the suspect. We're reporting live in Otay Mesa, Lindsay Pena, 10 News.
Lindsay, thank you. Our team coverage continues with our 10 News reporter Laura Acevedo live from Scripps Mercy Hospital in Hillcrest. That's where 2 of the victims were taken tonight. Laura.
And that's right, 2 of those 3 victims are here at Scripps Mercy Hospital. We did reach out to hospital representatives who told us they could not provide an update on their condition because that would be up to SDPD. Our cameras were rolling just moments after the ambulances arrived here at the emergency room. We have learned the name of the woman killed, but are not releasing that until we know her family has been notified. It appears she was a team leader at the restaurant. According to the Union Tribune, she was 28 years old. The 2 other victims, both men, are in stable but critical condition. According to one witness, one of the men shot appeared to be shot twice in the arm and the armpit. That witness said he tried to keep the man alert by asking him to talk about his family, saying he had a wife and 3 kids. The man appeared to be in his 50s. Again, none of those 3 victims have been identified, but once they are identified, we will bring that to you as soon as it comes in. Reporting live from Hillcrest, Laura Acevedo, 10 News.
Thank you, Laura. We want to show you the killer's car again. Right now, multiple agencies are scouring the county looking for him. We have the 10 News breaking news tracker on the road as well, monitoring police scanners. We are going to have another live update on this tragic shooting coming up in just a few minutes.
Also tonight, we are seeing new images of the aftermath of that deadly ambush in Mexico. 3 mothers and 6 children gunned down. 5 other children were injured. The area is known for cartel violence, but investigators are still trying to figure out what happened. It's unclear if the families were targeted. They were victims of mistaken identity or got caught in the crossfire between rival cartels.
We're calling on our governments and our sovereign countries to help us and provide answers. These kinds of injustices and atrocities should never be.
Yesterday, police arrested someone, but today they reveal that person is not believed to be connected to the attack.
New video tonight of the escaped murder suspects who were caught in San Isidro. This is Jonathan Salazar and Santos Fonseca being returned to the county jail in Salinas this afternoon. They escaped on Sunday, making a hole in the ceiling of the jail bathroom. Somehow, they got to Mexico. But for some reason, they tried to cross back into the U.S. at the San Isidro border crossing. Officers recognized the suspected killers and arrested them around midnight last night.
Now to a Team 10 exclusive. Today, hundreds of service members attended a memorial for a medic who mysteriously died this summer on a Southern California military base.
Team 10 investigative reporter Jennifer Kastner first broke this story a few weeks ago, reporting the medic may have been killed by somebody else, but the military is not releasing details.
The military escorted us onto the base here at 29 Palms for this memorial. It's been almost 3 months since this young corpsman died, but investigators still won't say how or why it happened. Hundreds of service members sat quietly to honor HM3 Michael Vincent De Leon. There were moments of overwhelming sorrow, but also memories that were sweet.
Michael was special. He thought that life was water. And no matter what life threw at him, he was going to act like the duck, and the water was just going to fall right off.
If you needed something, he was there in a heartbeat.
Benjamin and Lisa Clark were De Leon's closest friends at Wednesday's memorial, yet they're nowhere near understanding his sudden death in August. The Navy corpsman, a type of medic, had been stationed at 29 Palms Marine Base in San Bernardino County.
It's still to this day, we don't even know a whole lot.
I've been to memorials and I've always seen it through the viewfinder, black and white viewfinder. And today I was front row.
It's been a long day. Front and center to the service and news story that Michael's father, a former photojournalist, had never imagined. Jose De Leon flew in from Texas, which is where we did a video chat with him a month ago. He contacted us for help after claiming the military stonewalled him from getting answers about his son's death. 10 News learned from a source with close military ties that NCIS, the Naval Criminal Investigative Service, confirmed that Michael's death was being investigated as a homicide. It's a very different story than what this father was led to believe in the hours just after the death, when he says the word suicide came up from service members on base. After digging, what he learned from a service member close to the case was this.
I begged him, just tell me, did Michael pull the trigger or did someone else? There was a long pause, and he goes, Mr. De Leon, someone else pulled the trigger.
He says other service members who knew Michael said he was shot on base at a corpsman's going away party in the military housing area. Days went by until, he says, an NCIS agent told him there was, in fact, a shooting on base at a housing unit with corpsmen present. But that's it. At the memorial, the honor team fired its rifle salute, while this grieving father said his goodbye. But his story is far from over.
We're not a vengeful family. We're not vengeful at all, but we do want justice.
This week, NCIS released a statement saying, in part, out of respect for the investigative process and to protect witnesses, NCIS doesn't comment on ongoing investigations. In 29 Palms, Jennifer Kastner, 10 News.
The family says the investigation could take several more months to complete. If there is something you want our Team 10 investigators to look into, just let us know. Send your tips to team10@10news.com. And more breaking news. One person has died after their motorcycle crashed into a power pole late tonight. This was in the 1200 block of Harbor Drive in National City. The crash took out a power pole in the area. SDG&E has been called and is headed that way. The power utility is reporting an outage affecting over 2,000 people, but has not confirmed the power outage is a result of the crash. No word on what caused the crash.
Open door hearings on the impeachment inquiry will get underway next week. Many of the same key players who participated in closed door depositions are expected to be the first the public will hear. Public hearings will start next Wednesday with career State Department official George Kent and acting Ukraine ambassador William Taylor. Taylor is the one who famously texted, "I think it's crazy to withhold security assistance for help with a political campaign." Friday, they will also hear from ousted former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine, Marie Yovanovitch.
So those open hearings will be an opportunity for the American people to evaluate the witnesses for themselves, to make their own determinations about the credibility of the witnesses.
And the White House is now adding an impeachment communications team to respond to witness testimony.